There's a real duty of care now, I think, and a huge responsibility that comes with our wildlife now and our environment. It's under so much pressure, particularly from plastic pollution now, which we're still really scratching the surface of the problems that's starting to cause in marine food chains, and also with climate change. More frequent and severe storms in the winter are really impacting on our grey seal populations in southwest England. Jarvis Marine Life Rescue is a charity set up in 1988 by a group of divers on the east coast in response to an epidemic of virus that was affecting seals in the area at the time. Since then it's grown into a volunteer-based organisation which has a hotline that members of the public, report animals to that might be in need of our help, and we have volunteers, over 3,000 of them, trained around the whole British coast. It's just amazing to learn all of this wildlife is actually around our coastline. You don't need to go to Florida or Australia or South Africa to see them. They're right here on our doorstep. With seals, we get a lot of calls from members of the public who are concerned about them for one reason or another. The main things to look for is if the puppy is on its own, we're usually dealing with very young animals. If it is, then to actually keep a distance from it rather than go right up to it and disturb it. It could be weak and exhausted and really in need of a rest. So one of the first and foremost messages we try to get out to people is to try not to interact with the pup. With cetaceans, obviously it can be a bit more involved. The animal needs to be kept wet, it needs to be kept upright and comfortable as well until our volunteers can get there to take over. It can be a much larger instance, so we'd need a larger team with more medics attending that particular incident, as they can last several hours on the beach. They don't like being approached, they don't like loud noises. They're also quite good at spotting bright colours as well. So when people are out wildlife watching, it's really important to remember that seals will respond to that and they can stampede down into the water to escape. They've been known to become entangled in, and this can cause really horrible injuries to them, especially with net as it drags underneath their body.
So I'm a veterinary surgeon, so at the moment I'm supporting the charity for a few months, and essentially my role is to assist with rescues, so going out onto the beach and picking animals up if they need it, and also helping in the rehabilitation centres with general veterinary assessment and treatment.
With a rescued seal pup, they'll need a period of treatment on antibiotics as well. So those animals then go through that process, and once they're deemed to be fit enough to be released, once they've reached a certain weight, they can then go back out to the wild again. With cetaceans, say a dolphin that's stranded, in those cases where we are able to refloat them, we'll take them out into the water in sort of waist to chest deep water on a tarpaulin, and we'll see how the animal reacts first of all, and help it sort of find its bearings again. And once it seems ready to go, we'll gently let it go, do a soft release, and let it take itself out beyond the waves. There it is, under the seagulls. With chemicals, plastic pollution, all sorts, we need to get industry on side, we need to get governments on side, and it really does seem to be responsive now to engaging with the conservation community and getting the environmental message on board, which is really great to see. Just in the last couple of years it really has started to come across now, and the general public at large are becoming a lot more aware about certain issues, particularly with the plastic pollution. British Jarvis Marine Life Rescue is a charity. It's pretty much run entirely by its volunteers who train on our one-day course to learn how to rescue these marine creatures that we deal with. And if anyone would like to get involved, you can visit our website www.bdmlr.org.uk, and if you do find any animals in distress, our hotline number is 01825 76 5546.